Hey, hope everyone is doing well. We're back again for our third semi-FNF interview. I should make a name for this series, so let's call it, Funky Flashbacks and Futures. That sounds cool. Right, editor of this video?
No.
Fired.
Yes?
Hired. This week's person is RecD, a YouTuber who mainly posts lyrical adaptations to pre-existing songs, with a few original singles based on games like Cuphead. Previously, he was known for his old work on Sonic Paradox, occasionally appearing to voice a character here and there. Nowadays, he's well known for his Friday Night Funkin musical series, where many songs from FNF or respective mods are lyrically adapted in one big story. He's also deviated a little bit, making songs on Pizza Tower along with the upcoming Amanda the Adventure video. Since we have a trilogy, please let me know in the comments on who you would like to be interviewed next. Liking and subscribing is also a huge help as it gets my name out there and makes these happen. Timestamps are in the comments for your convenience. Enjoy! Hello, we're back again. This is the third interview I've done now, which is crazy. So we're back again with the interviews. I've been looking around of like who to interview and that kind of stuff, and I think this one right here was like a one I was wanting to do quite early on because I've seen his content for years on years now, like even before Friday Night Funkin', which is like the main kind of like focus of these interviews. So here we've got RecD with us, which is awesome because I've been seeing your stuff for fucking I think 10 years now, which is insane.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because it was. We'll get into it in the interview because I've written down I've written 26 questions down. Oh, Jesus Christ, we'll probably get through them, honestly. I really got to stop writing as many questions, but I've just got a lot to ask. Got a lot to ask. I'm excited. So yeah, actually, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay today. I'm actually really happy with the way things are going with the non-FNF songs right now, because we have 2 original songs.
Yeah.
That we're working on, but still waiting on Tabby. So you know.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Pretty happy with the non-FNF stuff.
Yeah.
Suffering FNF. I want to release it so bad.
That's for the later part of the interview though, because I've got a question about that. Well, it's not about the actual Tabby, but it's about roughly what's happening with that. But that'll be for later on. That'll be for later on. And just with I didn't say it in the script for the opening, but what we'll do as well is for the video, this is for everyone watching, but this what we'll do is I'll be timestamping all of the questions, just so it's easy just to go by. Okay, so let's go in. Question 1. So you're a really big voice actor. You've got fucking 600,000 subscribers, which is insane. But like, so
I can't believe it either. Yeah.
So how did you start VA, and like when did you start it?
So VA is something I've been doing for a very long time. The start of my VA career is incredibly funny because it was right after I joined Sonic Paradox, only a couple months in, we started doing this stream-a-thon event where we were playing every Sonic game with like the Sonic Shorts cast. And I wasn't in any shorts yet, but you know, I'd recently gotten promoted up to privileged member on the forum, which is this ancient ghost of a concept that does not exist in the real world anymore. But back in my old days, Sonny, on the Sonic Paradox forum, if you became a privileged member, you were in the in crowd, boy.
Yeah, it seems really long ago with like, cause like I was going Twitter and that now, but like I do remember there's stuff like back in the day there was like forums and that. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, so I was promoted to privileged member, which meant I could hang out with the big dogs. And one of the things we did was this stream of all the Sonic games. And when we got to Sonic Rush Adventure, because it has a ton of dialogue, it's a DS game, they needed more voice actors. So I'm like, okay, I haven't really done any serious voice acting stuff before this. We're like, we need someone to be the pirate. Can you do a pirate? And like, it's the most basic, stupid voice. Anyone can voice a pirate. But that was my first public role, and I'm like, okay, let's actually try and do this now.
It was a pirate.
It was Captain Whisker from Sonic Rush Adventure. That was my first like public VA role. I don't even know if that stream exists anymore.
That will count. That will technically count as your first role, like in VA. Oh, it's insane.
I mean, I did little videos on my channel previously, but nothing on that level. Nothing where I was actually like seriously acting with characters. Just me like, oh, hello, I'm doing a speaking voice, and now I'll put it higher, and no, put it lower. It was the first time I actually tried to get into a character.
That was that was before Sonic Paradox. Like I don't know roughly when it was, but I think it was like
2011.
2011. I was about to say 2010. So 2010. Sorry. So I was fairly close. But
Yep.
yeah. So that was 2011. So that was 12 years ago. That's actually insane.
Yep. 12 years ago.
Okay.
It all began.
So question 2. So actually, I've just covered this how you got into Sonic Paradox, but you just said that right there.
Yeah. So it's actually it's partially that. I actually have a different story about how I joined Sonic Paradox. It's really funny. Everyone always laughs when I tell them this. So, when I first saw Sonic Paradox, it was like at a local anime club in my library. I'm like, wow, these guys are cool, I want to join. So, I work really hard, and I make what this young 13, 14-year-old Tom thinks is the funniest thing possible. It's the Beatles song, I Am the Walrus. But Eggman and Rotor the Walrus sing it. And so I emailed this short. That's not very well animated, but I tried my best. I emailed this to Wax. Wax is a great guy, one of the nicest people I've ever met. He runs Sonic Paradox. He does his best. We're still good friends. We still talk like every month. We still, we still keep in touch and everything. So I send this email to Wax and say, hey. Here's my short, I'd like to join Sonic Paradox. And I proceed to get back, quite possibly, the only mean email this man has ever sent in his life. He responds, and I quote, I showed this to the other animators and nobody laughed.
Oh, that's awful.
And he's like, you can join if you want to get good. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. Screw you! Just to spite you and those animators, I'm gonna join and become good.
I will be sure to everyone, and nobody laughed. That's actually
nobody laughed.
That's so cold.
It really was. That's how I joined Sonic Paradox, and then I there was a lot of very absurd moderation tactics. They were scaring a lot of animators away because they had these obsessive tendencies to reject animation that wasn't to their level of perfection for Volume 7, which became Volume 8, because after Volume 6, Sonic Paradox was like the biggest Sonic community on Earth for a while. So they're always trying to, critique everyone. They call it ripping stuff apart. They'd get very, very cruel about people's animations. I just sit there and take it. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, I'm playing the long game.
You knew that was a start. You knew that was a start.
I knew that was a start. The most absurd thing that had happened a couple days after I joined was April Fool's Day. I think I joined like March 26th and March 27th. Yeah. So this was at the peak of the My Little Pony craze.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sonic Paradox's forums for a single day got transformed entirely into Pony Paradox. And on top of that, the moderators abused the swear filter to replace most normal human words with Pony and John Madden. So at that same day, stupid little kid Tom has an issue where his flash keeps crashing while he's trying to animate a short for Sonic Paradox. So I try to post, and the thread is like, hey, I've got a problem with my flash, it keeps crashing, this is what's happening, can I help? Once it posts, I read back in dismay, it says, I have a problem with my pony, it keeps on John Madden. You know how to pony?
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Alright, so question 3. Yes, okay, so what were some of your favorite shorts to voice? Because there's a lot of them. It's like it was like up to 8, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right.
So I was in a lot of Sonic shorts. I was in a lot of Sonic shits, which was the joke volume we would make to make fun of Sonic shorts, sort of parodying ourselves. I think my absolute favorites to work with, obviously, Bride Zone, the short that I actually created that got in Volume 8, has got to be up there because that's still the most viewed thing I've ever made. I think Volume 8 sits at like 38 million views now, something like that, some crazy high number.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I voiced the little pig in Volume 8 where Sonic eats a chili dog and he thinks the pig is a chili dog.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Save me!
Yeah, that one. I'm trying to think if I did any other voice work in V8. I think those are my 2 roles in Volume 8. I tended to do a lot more, obviously, in the musical series.
Yeah, like Seaside Design was like, I think that's my. I remember when I first met you. I was talking about like how I'd known you, and I think Seaside Denied was like the one that really got to my head at the start.
It got to everyone's head for a while.
But it's good. The thing is, I'll maybe do this do this while I'm here. Which is the next question is like, do a lot of people recognize you for your Sonic Paradox work now?
At least once a week, people say, "Oh my God, you did Seaside Denied? What the hell?" They have like a nervous breakdown. They're like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it."
Thing is, I thought you were gonna say like, "Oh, it's not a lot," because everyone, like, a lot of people say like Friday Night Funkin' now. Because like
no, because a lot of people know me Friday Night Funkin', but then they're blown away when they find out I did something else they grew up with. Because people always say like, I grew up with you. I'm like, so did I. I was 15 when I wrote Seaside Denied.
You're 15? Oh my God.
I was 15 when I wrote Seaside Denied.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I grew up watching Sonic Paradox. That used to be the funniest thing ever, and I wouldn't get half the jokes. Oh, but they were so good. And like Seaside Denied was really good as well. And there was the Metropolis Mayhem. I think you had involvement in, if I'm right.
I wrote the whole thing.
Okay, excuse me then. Jesus.
And then there's Casino Calamity, which has been in dev hell for 10 years. It's a tragedy, but we're still trying. We're still trying. I am terrified for a 10-year-old song to finally release next to my current work.
It's basically the Sonic.exe with lyrics of the Sonic Paradox.
Oh boy, EXE is a whole other can of worms.
See, I know the lore. So, question 5 is, so what do you do for the Sonic channel now? Because I think I saw a little credit that you had with the Sonic Seconds. And I still participate fairly regularly in Sonic Paradox. I help with moderation every now and again. I still approve and build on ideas when I have the time. A little bit less recently after my channel blew up, but still I try. I pitched and named Sonic Seconds. I wish I named it Sonic Short Seconds from the beginning. If I knew what YouTube was like back then, I would have told them to call it Sonic Short Seconds. But we're calling it that now. So, YouTube search garbage, whatever. But yeah, I'm behind Sonic Seconds. I led that for a couple volumes, and then when my channel blew up, I passed that off to some other members of Paradox who now take care of it. And of course, I don't know when it's going to happen, but Sonic Paradox still wants to do Sonic Shorts Funkin', which is going to be a Friday Night Funkin' mod based on several Sonic shorts. We got the original animators of the shorts back to do the sprites. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I think that was I think I like remember you talking about this like in a community post like quite a while ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was like it went into hibernation for a while because SP got busy and my channel blew up again. I thought like, oh, Friday Night Funkin's fading, it's time for me to go. Chef Saltbaker, allow me to introduce myself. Oh. and then there was the pizza, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's amazing then. So after Sonic Paradox, and this is like when you're making like little videos like before the whole FNF stuff. So I didn't ask any questions like specifically because I do remember you I do remember the what's it called? The World Revolving, which is the Jevil song. I do remember listening to that in SoundCloud in 2018, so I went fucking jogging. Jesus Christ.
Yep, that was probably my first like modern hit.
Because like I would ask about that if I don't have much questions, but so instead I'm gonna say what were some of your favorite videos before Friday Night Funkin'?
Before Friday Night Funkin', I'd say my absolute favorites are the Walk Revolving, which is a Jevil Furret crossover video, and Marks with Lyrics, which I still think is one of the best videos I ever made.
Oh, the Walk Revolving, yeah, because I've seen about Furret stuff like because I remember like, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I think in Friday Night Funkin'. At the end of the video, you'd show like the people who are like gonna be next, and Furt was there, and he never got it.
Oh boy, the mods. Well, I still have full intentions to make all of them. For context, Jevil mod has been fully written, fully voiced, all the music's composed, the entire story is written. We're just cursed. Literally every time we assign someone sprites for that stupid mod, something horrible happens to them. One of them, we assigned them the sprites. The next week, they got lost in Mexico and their computer fell to pieces.
Oh my god.
We're like quite literally cursed.
Yeah, I can relate to that because I have my own mod, as you know, because I'm not gonna say it. Well, I do have an FNF mod. I'll put it in the description, whatever. Doesn't matter. But when I was getting sprites for this character that you voice, like we went through 3 arts at this point, and I've actually lost my mind doing it. So like, I'm like, I'll get anyone to do it at this point, so I can relate to it in that level. Yeah. And the other one was, you said it was, what was the other one you said?
The other ones
Marks,
I was going to Devil, Furt, and DDD. The other video, Marks, yeah. So Marks is hopefully, if all goes well, if all goes as planned, the second to last main entry in the Kirby vs. DDD series. I do want to do one more, but as of now, it's the most recent main entry. I did do Mass DDD, but that was just a spinoff.
Yeah.
So the whole idea behind Kirby, the Kirby series, more than any other series I've done, even more than Undersong, because Undersong never really came to fruition in like a complete story arc. The Kirby series is kind of a prototype for what I ended up doing with Friday Night Funkin' with lyrics. If you watch them as they grow, I started doing a lot more remixes of the songs that I cover before and after them. I started growing the plots with each one, very similar to how Friday Night Funkin' Musical grew. And with Marks, it's sort of this natural culmination of what's been building up this entire series, which is really less about Kirby. Kirby is just the Sky Baby that goes Poyo in the series, and more about King Dedede sort of growing as a person and learning to accept Kirby as part of his life.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's characters that challenge that. You know, there's Meta Knight, who emboldens him to try and beat Kirby in fights. There's obviously his own mask, not the Masked and Wild mask, not the you know the caveman DDD, but just the regular mask from Superstar Ultra. And eventually Marks, who is this master manipulator who tries to convince DDD to kill Kirby before he kills everyone. So it's really just this war of DDD trying to process whether Kirby is someone that he wants to be in his life.
Yeah, I'm just listing a few off that I've seen before FNF. That was with the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga battle theme. I've seen that one. The one
that one became a meme. Yeah.
I remember watching the Animaniacs one. I used to love the Animaniacs song because I was in a huge phase when that came out, because of the reboot and the Jake Neutron stuff. So
Jake was having a lot of fun with those.
Yeah, no, I love the remixes. He's a fantastic person. I think I said it last interview, but my biggest goal is to interview him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Jake wouldn't mind at some point. I talk to him almost every day.
It's impossible to contact him. That's the thing. But one day we'll see. Jake, if you're watching, hello. But we'll see. So now we're getting to FNF. So question 7. So how did you get into Friday Night Funkin'?
This is a pretty interesting one. So I'd seen a couple posts about Friday Night Funkin' on Twitter, mostly the Newgrounds Twitter account that I followed, like retweeting it, showing off. I'm like, oh, that's neat. It's like Parappa. So I played it once. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then suddenly, around early January 2021, I started getting a lot of fans in the streams I regularly do saying, hey, you should check out Friday Night Funkin'. You should do a with lyrics video for Friday Night Funkin'. Specifically, one of the fans that's been around probably since the Jevil video, Sophie. So Sophie was saying, you know, hey, you should do this as Friday Night Funkin' video, like you should do Dad Battle. And I'm like, okay, you know, what the heck? So I decided to do sort of a double team because I work with Mikey. Mikey does my thumbnails. So Mikey wanted to do an FNF video that was FNF Sonic, and I wanted to do one that was just regular FNF. So I'm like, let's cross promote each other. Let's like work together. And he's like, yeah, cool. So Mikey did the thumbnail for Dad Battle with lyrics. And I did the I wrote the Sonic song, I wrote the rap, I voiced the president from the Sonic OVA for it, and then he voiced Sonic and Eggman. And his video did pretty well, and even Ninja Muffin saw it. Ninja Muffin donated while it was being developed on stream. That was really cool of him. And that did pretty okay. And then my video exploded.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, let's do some more. And then Spooky's exploded more. And then I said, okay, let's do some more. And then Pico got to 1 million views in a week. And I said, hello, career.
Yeah. You just kept on going. I think my first one, I think I originally I think I saw like I think it was the dad battle when I saw originally. Maybe.
Yep.
It might have been that one or the witty one or something like that, I'm pretty sure.
Witty's the most viewed one, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the first one you saw.
Because
YouTube is pushing that to everybody.
yeah, because the thing is I remember I was hearing the dad battle one and I'm like this is good, but I'm not sure we're going the boyfriend voice is a bit, and then
Oh
and
man, it took a while. The boyfriend voice stuff was hell, because at first, I was doing the boyfriend voice with just my regular falsetto. And the funny thing is, the voice never changed. I just added a filter.
yeah.
So basically, I polled my channel after I released Pico, and I'm like, hey, I released these 2 videos without the filter, and I've released Pico with the boyfriend filter. Do you want the filter? And Keep the Filter just barely won.
What do you mean by that?
Like, the vote was really close, if I recall correctly.
Oh, right.
It was like almost, I think it was almost like 50-50. More people might have voted by now to like change it, but back then it was like almost 50-50.
I think I think it was a really good change because I wasn't a big fan of the old voice, but the new ones and the new one's quite good, to be honest. I can be an optimistic person, so not everyone thinks in the same level, obviously. But I like the boyfriend voice because I've heard people make fun of it on Twitter, and I feel bad for you.
I mean, yeah, Twitter gives me hell, but here's the thing. This is early FNF. This is how I broke into Twitter. I found people that were like poking fun at Pico, poking fun at boyfriend, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And I retweeted them. I'm like, what? The easiest way to deal with haters is give them positive attention. They become terrified.
I've kind of brought that up already, but the next question was, so how do you do boyfriend, Pico, and Whitey's voice? Now I could go into more, like, let's say Ruv and Ruv Tabby. That's outdated. Like, coming soon. Ruv Tabby Hex, this kind of that. But the ones that interest me the most is Whitey, boyfriend, and Pico.
Okay, so boyfriend's a pretty easy one. I basically just start with a falsetto. Anyone can do a falsetto. Sort of a Tiny Tim impression, like a "I'm so happy, happy go lucky me." So I got the boyfriend voice, and then I compress it. I compress all my voices; they stick out in the mix more. And then I add M auto pitch, which is a form and shifter, and I form and shift the voice up just enough that it sounds like boyfriend. Obviously, it's not gonna play here in real time, but if you were to run that through the same format shifter I use, that would just sound like boyfriend.
Is that done through FL Studio, or is that a different software, or is it Ableton?
I am the freak misfit of the FNF community. I work with Mixcraft.
I have no idea what that is.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
I have to look that up afterwards. I have no idea what that was because flashback. So like you probably don't remember this, right? But a little while ago, like last year, you remember that one dub you did of Boyfriend? It was like, it would be so awesome. It would be, and like the thing is, like when I dubbed that myself, and what I just did was I just went into Pitch Shifter in FL Studio, messed with that, raised it up, good. And I did that, and then you liked it, and I was like, yay! And it was but like I never thought like fucking Mixcraft.
Yeah. And this isn't something in Mixcraft. Like, this is just free plugin. It's you can use in any DAW. But I just happen to use Mixcraft because it's incredibly friendly for pianists. That is, piano players. I don't need to quote the whole Animaniacs joke.
I'm so immature.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a very good DAW for pianists because everything's based around a piano roll. So I enjoy using it a lot. It's very simple and very intuitive. I could not begin to understand FL.
I know a little bit. Oh yeah. Go on. Sorry. I don't want to get sidetracked.
So as for Pico's voice, this one has a funny story attached because when I was first doing Pico with lyrics, early on, the FNF doesn't talk to anybody. It doesn't matter because they're still pretty small. So I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be easier than trying to go through their Twitters. I'm just gonna message Kawaii Sprite and Newground and say, hey, how do you do Pico? So I wait for a couple days. Obviously they're busy working on week updates at that point. So I don't expect to get back immediately. I'm like, oh crap, the next week's coming up, and I'm like, I need to start hitting these. I need to hit these fast, keep the growth going. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna use the way that I faked it. So I used a different program for this one called Gralian, and Gralian has a different type of pitch shifter, and this pitch shifter actually affects the melody pitch instead of just the tone of the voice. So I do one pitch down and one pitched way up, and I layer them together. So there's two voices at once, and then I run them through a filter that's part of Mixcraft called Ghetto Fab, and that gives that sort of booming sound without anything. It just sounds like this. He sounds like if a duck smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Cause I was gonna ask, like, cause Pico's already got like a kind of like a bass kind of effect thing, because when Kawaii Sprite released the effects, I think it's like a screenshot more like, then BB Panzu is like, here's how to do it in FL Studio. So then everyone done that, and you're with like, oh, that's like really complex way to do it. But honestly, I do like the voice. Well, it's good.
The funny thing that happened is, like, I released this video the day after Kawaii told me how to do it. I'm like, just a little bit too late. But what had happened is everyone did it like Kawaii Sprite did it, and I was the only person who did Pico the wrong way, so it became iconic, and I had to keep it.
Yeah, honestly, no, it's your kind of like effect. Honestly, if I was gonna VA Pico, I would either do it the Kawaii Sprite way or your way, but I have no idea how to do your way, so I'd probably do the Kawaii Sprite way. Actually,
it's very complex, and it actually does require Mixcraft. That's the one thing that makes it hard for people to imitate, because nobody likes Mixcraft.
No, I do like it though, because like, there's the idea of like, would the Kawaii Sprite one like effects fit in your songs?
I tried it out. It doesn't work quite as well, because it loses that bass kick. The bass kick really gives a lot of his tone.
And then for Witty.
Yeah, Witty. Oh, this one was tough. So Witty's voice sounds the least like him before I put effects on. Witty gets, obviously, a bunch of, he gets a slight lowerer. He gets slightly lower with him auto pitch, just like Boyfriend. He goes the other direction. Only a little bit. He gets compressed, so he's louder. And the main thing is he just gets a guitar amp put over his voice, which makes him sound like a guitar. So before any of the effects, when he just sounds like this, he just sounds like he's kind of tired.
No, I can hear it. Yeah, because that was I remember like with like the old FNF stuff, what he would like when people didn't like just use the same chromatic. I've seen like Witty songs with like just like a guitar basically, which is when people would like just do instruments as voices, like Groove for example. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're on the right track, and I really like his voice. So
yeah, no, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with it. You know, it's my Witty stuff's never gonna be canon. I don't care. I'm happy with it in my own canon.
So where are we? Yeah. So question 9. So with your videos, you do nearly all the voices, not all of them obviously, because there's Moop that does Girlfriend.
Yeah,
and there's like
does Girlfriend and Carol.
And like I don't know, I don't know who else off the top of my head, or like Juno.
Not too many others. We have someone for Ed. We have someone for Tom.
That's right. I remember the audition for that. I was singing it, and I looked at it and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting it. I'm not gonna bother with that, so I didn't do it. And then there was like Juno songs for the
Juno, Juno's our Tord.
Yeah, that's right. And he also did Rube for the crossover song.
He also did for Zavadia too. That one was actually his pitch. We just produced it on my channel. I'm really happy with how it came out though. We just got in there and we just, no idea was turned away, especially when Juno wanted to turn one away.
So with you doing all the voices, is it tiring in a way? Have you like had like an interest to have more voices in the videos, or like you just find just still doing nearly all the voices?
Funny enough, it's more work when I get other people. And that sounds insane, but let me explain. So if I do all the voices myself, I record the voices, I clean them up, done. Yeah. If I get other people to do voices, and sometimes I have to. I don't voice female characters generally. I don't voice characters that I feel are out of my range. I have to record their parts still for the scratch tracks. They know how to perform them. Yeah. I have to tune that. I have to live direct my new voice actor. I have to go through that. I have to do any retakes if I need them. I then have to build their pieces. I don't just use straight recordings because I'm not in the same room with them. So I have to build the best takes into a track, then tune those, and then I'm done. So it is considerably more work when I get other people to join in. That's why I try to only cast out when I need to.
So what do you mean by like live direct? Like, you get in a call with them and they'd sing?
I get in a call with them and they do like 50 takes, and I'm really anal about it, but it comes out good.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but the thing is, like, I remember a while ago when I was watching your videos, I was like, well, you could do some more voices just for like a bit more variety. But honestly, like, if you have a better time doing all the voices, I'm kind of fine with that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, if I feel like I can get someone to voice character better, I'll bring them in. There's definitely some future episodes where I'm going to have guest voices. I feel, especially as the series comes to its plot point finale, you know, the videos are getting bigger and bigger. Season 2 finale is going to be the biggest video of the entire series.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I need some more guest voices to fill out.
You've got a fantastic... Oh, sorry. You go on.
It's okay. I'm not going to promise movie length, but pretty long.
The full film. But I was gonna say, yeah, you've got a really good range, so I think it's mainly fine with like using a lot of the voices.
Yeah.
That's like something you've been working on for like a decade now, essentially.
Oh, absolutely. I got my low voice. I just sung 16 Tons by Tennessee Ford every day when I was a teenager until my voice was actually low enough to sing it.
So, to question 10, so what's your favorite voice in the series that you like to do?
In the FNF with Lyric series?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's tough. A lot of the voices are fun, but I think the most fun to pull out is probably Hex, because number one, it's not straining on my voice. Like, you know, Skid and Pump are fun to voice as characters.
Yeah.
But this is a very upbeat voice, but it is not very hard to do for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And when it first came out, everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's Dr. Coomer." I'm like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh no, it is that guy." But it's just this voice that is very upbeat, very happy. He has a robot filter, but other than that, he's a pretty clean voice. Still sounds like Hex without many filters attached. I think at one point, Cade said it's the canon Hex voice.
Yeah, I would agree to honestly, because because I remember you dubbed over the lines, the weekend lines in the actual in your video, but I wasn't in the mod. That's right.
Yeah, I did full I did a full audio remaster of the cutscene too, because I felt like I was missing a lot of sound effects. So I did a ton of Foley work on that.
Fantastic.
That was like some of the best Foley I've ever done.
So moving off of FNF, or you can do like this is everything essentially. So what's your favorite voice of all time to do? It's really a really hard question, but
it's a difficult question to answer, but I think I'm probably just gonna have to go with Sans, because it was one of the voices that really sort of developed my lower side and developed my potential to go around. Like, the Sans voice came from a Tennessee Ernie Ford impression. As I said, I spent like every day as a teenager singing 16 Tons, which ironically is a song about working very hard. So I think it's incredibly funny that the Tennessee Ernie Ford impression went to Sans, a character who does not like to work hard ever. Outside of that, it's just a very pleasant voice to put on. Nobody really dislikes the voice. It's very, very calming, uses the lower range, and it's just fun to pull off. I can do it for a long time without getting tired. It's not stressful to my throat at all. Yeah. But I love doing all the voices. I think the other ones that I really enjoy, though, obviously I can't do them for as long, is like the Trek voices, like the Edward impression that I used for Mr. Lemon. There's always going to be Trek voices. There's always going to be stuff that goes on with them. But I think overall, it's got to go with Sans, because he's like one of the ones that launched it all. Yeah,
there's a lot of interpretations of Sans' voice. There's like the more kind of like, more kind of like Boston kind of voice.
It's funny because like I ended up doing that voice eventually, but I did it for the Red Imposter in my Among Us song.
And there's also like the lore voice in general. There was that one time Chat guy done like a Patrick voice, and everyone didn't like it.
Maybe it's like the way you're dressed.
Oh yeah, I don't think he was right. He was right.
Yep.
He was right in that one. Oh god, I forgot about that part. But yeah, that's the Sans voice. That's fair enough. So question 12. So what's your So the thing is, I was gonna say originally what's your favorite, but I think I'm gonna give you a bit of leeway here. What's your top 3 favorite FNF musical videos?
My top 3 favorite FNF musical videos, period.
Yes.
That is released so far, right?
That's a good question.
That would make it easier.
So we'll do like ones that you've already announced.
All right. Out of the ones I've already announced, Tabby's up there. Tabby's really high up there.
Okay.
It's that good. I'm very, very happy with Date Week. I think it's one of the most beautiful videos I've ever done.
Yes.
And then it's the Demon Girlfriend episodes, the tie between week 5 and Defeat and Finale.
Yeah, that's right. Hold on. I look at your channel. You're talking about like the week 5 one.
Yeah, week 5. Week 5 is the one where people started paying attention to FNF Musical, like as an actual series.
Yeah.
Before then, it was just like it was mostly about the lyrics.
Yeah. I did like a lot of like the kind of ending to that week as well. So yeah, I do agree with that. So it was that one Date Week's fair enough, and Tabby. The thing is, I used to love Tabby as well because I think Tabby used to be my favorite mod of all time. You're
gonna be very happy when Tabby with lyrics fun.
I don't think that's the case now because I think it's probably gonna be FNF Online now. But
FNF Online is great. That's why I did Challenge Ed. Challenge Ed is one of the few I didn't adapt for the plot. I just adapted because I really love the song.
But yeah, I'll probably really love Tabby, but we'll see what happens. And this is the opposite kind of direction now. Is there any videos you want to remaster? So I've worded this like it's like anything, but yeah, I'll just do anything. Like is there any videos you want to remaster?
Okay, so there's some things like, for example, Hex Weekend was the last video that I made before I upgraded my Melodyne so I could mix better. So when Season 2 drops, I'm going to update that. I'm probably going to make some minor tweaks to the other Season 2 videos. The one video I want to fix more than anything is actually Doggone Dogfight with lyrics, when I ever do a Cuphead compilation, because there's one line where I mixed Miss Chalice a half note too low for one line, and it tortures me every time I rewatch the video.
I mean, I'll have to rewatch it and just like I'll have to like look for it.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know. There's actually the biggest blunder I made. I already cleaned up in the Season 1 remaster. This one still really haunts me. The Witty video. There is one moment where in the video, if you've watched it any day other than the first day it was uploaded, you'll notice that the subtitle box gets blurred for a moment during Witty's backstory. So what happened there is in the final render, which I did not check closely enough, during the most dramatic, heartbreaking part of Witty's backstory, the line glitched out and got replaced with, "Thanks for helping me babysit the boyfriend." So I'm like, crap. And I'm like, okay, YouTube features, blur it out, I'll fix it later. So I blurred it out. At least it doesn't help, but it doesn't detract from the story anymore.
Oh God.
I fixed that in the remaster.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah. Is there any I was mainly referring to, is there any videos you want to just like purely remake, essentially? I say remaster. I've kind of like worded it wrongly, but is there any videos you'd remake from the ground up?
Just redo from the ground up. That's a good question. I think in terms of the FNF ones, the main one I wanted to do was Dad Battle because it was so small.
Yeah.
And I kind of did. I debated doing the same thing with Spookies. But I ended up doing the other 2 songs as separate videos, so I sort of let it go. As for other songs and other videos, I'm pretty happy with a lot of the recent stuff I've done. I feel like if I were to redo from the ground up any past videos, it would probably be stuff from like well before I knew what I was doing with videos.
Yeah.
So like the really early stuff. I actually redid one, and it's one of my worst performing videos of all time, which was an old song called Farewell Koholint, which is like this dramatic song about Link's Awakening. I redid it as Bout of the Windfish medley with lyrics, and it bombed. It got 11,000 views 3 years ago. And then, because the same day that the Link's Awakening remake came out, the Untitled Goose Game came out. That was more popular. So I'm like, screw it, I'll do a Goose song. So one afternoon I did a Goose song. It has 126,000 views. Obviously, it did much better.
At least you got one of them. At least you got one of them.
I guess the biggest thing I want to remake is Undersong, because that was my original full length. Like, a lot of people that are newer to the channel don't understand. I wasn't just, oh, here's some original songs about Undertale. Kill or Be Killed from Undersong was the first Undertale fan song. Like, it came out with it, I think, September 2015.
Yeah.
That early. And it was part of a 40-plus number original musical, all which is original with some influences from the game's soundtrack. But, you know, after Undertale soundtrack started getting copyright claimed, I had to scrap the project because I would have to rewrite the entire story to get rid of those references to the original score. So one day I'd like to redo Undersong, not just with a rewritten score that removes the references to the original soundtrack, so I'm copyright safe, but also done with sprites, so it's producible. I cannot. I love the way the few Undersong videos I did came out with the static art. It's sort of the blueprint for what I do with Fnfmusical in some ways too.
Yeah.
But it is way too time consuming to not have other types of video to balance it out. And now, since I pay everyone, it would also be way too expensive.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair enough. Maybe one day.
One day I'd love to do it. Yeah, I guess that's really it in terms of videos that I really love to remake.
So question 14. So I originally had just the two questions, but I just put them together. So what video? I think I remember this, but what video took the longest to make? I think it's Date Week. I'm pretty sure.
It's Tabby. Tabby's been in development for an entire year.
That's right. I forgot that part. Okay, yeah.
Tabby's been in development. I wrote it in June 2022.
Wow.
That's how long it's taken. I can't tell you why right now. When it comes out, I will finally be able to say why, and everyone will say, "Oh my god, that makes so much sense. We're so sorry."
I'm gonna guess. Right here. Animation due to story. Basically like the ending to like week 5. Things like that. I'm gonna guess that. You don't have to say.
Well, you will see. You will see.
But that's what I was saying. That basically it's just like the week 5 stuff essentially. Things like that. That's my guess. But
you will certainly see.
I will
say I don't think the finale is going to take as long as Tabby did, because it won't have the same thing holding it up that Tabby has, but prepare for it to be a far bigger and far more complex video.
Yeah, and Cougar McDowell is doing Tabby in that video, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes.
I believe so. As far as I'm aware, you know, I don't like to hard confirm anything until it's fully recorded, just in case, but as far as I'm aware so far.
Yeah. And what video took the shortest time to make?
Oh god, that's funny. I did Dad Battle in an afternoon. I did, as I said, I did the Untitled Goose Song in an afternoon. I did Pizza Time in 1 week because we didn't have an FNF video ready, and then it exploded. It's always the ones I take the smallest amount of time to blow up. What else barely took me time? Animaniacs I did in an afternoon. Animaniacs Genesis I actually took a couple days for because I like made more visuals for it. I'm trying to think of any others that were really short. I think I did 7 Granddad with lyrics in an afternoon. Yeah, a lot of the ones with simpler visuals or shorter run times.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think. No wait. You know what? The world record for the shortest possible video is P rank with lyrics. I did that in under an hour.
Ah, yeah, that was the I think that was like a short, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, that was my first modern short.
Yep, I seen that. Yeah, that's pretty cool then. So, question 15, this is like a really generic question but what's your favorite video ever made?
That's really difficult. I think right now it's probably a tie between Date Week and Marks with Lyrics, because those two are some of the most cinematic and fully realized of the bunch.
Yeah.
I still really love Week 5. I think Week 5 is really cool, but it requires understanding the other pieces a little more.
Yeah.
With Marks, you won't get everything, but you could go in and generally understand what's going on. With Date Week, I also think you could jump in, generally understand what's going on. Both of them have very heartfelt endings. I love writing very, very deep, emotional character moments. I think there's some of the best work I've done. On top of that, in terms of the best comedic video I've done, I think Pizza Time with Lyrics might be up there. Even though I wrote it really fast, Pizza Time with Lyrics has really great jokes. It has a lot of visual references. 6 million people seem to agree. I still can't believe that.
I also like Death I Deserve, really. That was a very good one. I remember with Pizza Time, I played the demo back in really 2018. That was kind of it. And when the game came out, I'm like, I might play it. It was a combination of people, my friends liking it, and that video that made me buy the game. And I am now almost done with all the lap 3 levels.
There you go. Pizza Time with lyrics.
There we go. Yeah, really good video. The question 16, we've kind of dabbled in this a little bit, but what other videos are planned at the minute?
Okay, so we've got a lot going on. Obviously, Tab hasn't come out.
Yeah.
I have 2 original songs currently in production. One of them came about because, as I said before, Materia Collective heavily allows claims to be placed on videos and then does manual resolution. But in the meantime, videos lose relevance, they lose push. It basically kills videos and interest in doing them. So I can't do any more Pizza Tower lyrics until it's like proven they're not putting stuff in Content ID. So I can't do that.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
So I can't really do any more Pizza Tower with lyrics videos based on the official game because of them currently owning the soundtrack. But that doesn't mean I can't do originals. So I'm currently working on an original song based on the noise as basically a stand-in for what would be Pumpin' Hot Stuff with lyrics called Make Some Noise. And Make Some Noise is this sort of very over-the-top, very 90s, very funky song where the noise basically brings back NTV for one more showdown, and it's this reimagining of the Noise and Pepino fight as the live broadcast that Noise is making.
Okay.
So that's going to be really fun. It's a very, very comedic video. There's not anything too deep going on with it. Very, very upbeat and lighthearted. A lot of good jokes. The other one I'm working on is something entirely new to the channel that I admittedly started thinking about more because my Jake Neutron, as we talked about before, I talk Jake Neutron a lot. Jake Neutron's obsessed with the Man of the Adventure, and he's made these amazing rigs, and he's got this crazy song that 1 million people are watching just the leaks of. And I'm like, I eventually decided, you know what? If pizza's not safe, I'll try this too. So I wrote an original song based on the Man of the Adventure, and the song's called Sacrificial Lamb, and it's got a theme that I think I haven't seen any other Amanda song do yet. I'm pushing for more originals just because, you know, the uncertainty of lyrics, but I'm still gonna do some lyric videos. Don't worry.
I've not seen much of Amanda the Adventure. I've seen it from Jay Neutron, because they're working on this song, and and it's like, and I originally thought it was an FNF song because like the up down, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that happened because Jake ran a poll on whether it should be an FNF song or a normal, and was really close.
Okay.
So he's probably, or FNF was winning for a while, so he probably started working on the FNF version. Like, oh crap, original one. Just keep it.
Yeah, it's gonna be an original song now. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yep, it's an original now. I've heard it. I've seen the MV. It's incredible. You guys are gonna lose your minds.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see Jake back in the original songs. I remember like a lot of the old, like the 2020 songs, like Always Right, which is Infinity Train. Like I love that song. So him doing stuff like that is fantastic.
Yeah, Jake's got a really unique composing style. It really comes out in this.
Yes. So So question 17. So what other mods would you like to cover in FNF? So we've discussed Tabby.
Okay, so there's a couple that sort of fell by the wayside. This is when I discuss sometimes. This is sort of one that never quite happened, and this is tied into what we were just talking about. Yeah. I had actually planned to do a little side series starting in early 2022 based on creepy mods, and it was going to be just basically Daddy Dearest has this giant hall full of cursed things, and they find the first one was going to be that they find this cursed VHS tape, and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit comes out of it. I was going to do some covers of Jake Neutron's Oswald mod as sort of a collab, because we were both going to go to MagFest, and we were going to air this as like an exclusive at MagFest. It's going to be a little video that we were working on together, and if it did well, I would do more in the series. COVID got bad. MagFest became one of the world's most dangerous COVID hotspots. We could not go. The video died. So, maybe one day that would still be fun. As for other FNF videos, really, at this point, the only one I can really think of that
I don't already have plans to cover because it's not out yet is obviously week 8 when it comes out.
Yeah.
I will cover week 8. It's not going to be part of the main series. I cannot work it into the main series this late in the game.
So are you thinking about like the week 8 they've got planned, like which we don't know, we don't know yet, or it's Darnell versus Pico?
Either potentially. I know they might be dropping a couple weeks at once. I've heard rumors of. I wouldn't be surprised. But I would definitely be down to drop to adapt something they do.
Yeah.
But it could not be part of the main series. It would have to be a spin-off just because I'm working on resolving this main series, so I'm not as bound by FNF anymore. Because like I'm very happy with what I'm doing with FNF with lyrics. I also acknowledge that it is not what it used to be. FNF with lyrics is not like self-sustaining like it was in 2021 or 2022.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna lose money on the finale. I don't care. I want to go out with a bang. I may be doing one more episode in between Tabby and the finale if Tabby does okay. I really want to. There's one more I really want to do, and I will tease that if I decide to do it.
Yeah.
Because that one won't take so long to make, but the finale is gonna take forever.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember when week 7 came out, you were like, I think you made that video. I don't think it was like really like right after, but it was. I think it was like decent after. Let me just take a look. It was 26th of June. So a few months off.
I was terrified when I was working on week 7 that week 8 would come out before I got it out.
No.
No idea how scared I was every day.
Statement
I was so scared.
Oh god.
Because what had happened is I went through a failed surgery during development of week 7, and that slowed me down.
I remember you posting that in your community posts.
Yeah, they knocked me out, and then they're like, "Whoops, we can't do the surgery." Anyway, have fun recovering.
Yeah, I hope you're good now.
I'm not good, but you know, I didn't get worse from that.
But yeah, so it's just all that money on crack, you know.
Yeah.
It's all that money on crack which is why week 8's totally not out. It's totally the reason why, I swear.
Yeah, I really don't know. I will say that week 7 is the most expensive video I've made so far. It costs even more than week 5, just because of all the animated cutscenes.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Because I remember looking at all the cutscenes for week 7.
The season 2 finale might be more expensive. I don't know yet, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So question 18, would you collaborate with more like lyricists? So you've collabed with Juno Songs, you've collabed with have you collabed with Mimi Mio? I don't even know.
I think so. I don't remember.
I don't even remember myself. Definitely Juno. Maybe possibly.
I have more stuff planned with Juno. I can tell you that.
But would you do any more?
Yeah. People that I ask, and if I like what they're doing, I'll say sure.
Okay.
I really don't mind. It's just gotta, if it's gonna be something where I'm putting in a lot of work, it's gotta be, sort of equal footing, beneficial thing. So it's like, if it's Timmy the Cool 57 says, "Hey, can you do Sonic EXE Mouse with lyrics? The one where he gets blood eyes and goes, 'You're dead because I'm the boss and I'm gonna kill you.'" Obviously I'm gonna be less inclined than, another lyricist that has a decent following that's like, "Hey, we'd love to have you on as boyfriend," or, "Hey, I'd like you to try for this character." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Basically, just treat me like a person instead of a vending machine.
Yeah. Because a lot of EXE mods and which is the only one you did was the Too Slow. Which
I have more planned. Endless is in the works too. It's been in the works for a while. It's literally just been that I've had. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's just been delays on Tabby. I have had to spend so much more time on Tabby than I ever thought I would because of the delays.
Yeah.
And trust me, more than you could ever imagine. You'll understand. Again, you'll understand when it comes out. You'll understand when it releases. But that slowed down too slow, and it was really hard to pick it back up after. But we know what we want to do with the video. We know what we want to do with the video, and we definitely plan to make it fun. The EXE series, of course, with the sort of banning of characters, is probably going to have to be cut short. I cannot say 100% what we're doing for the rest of it yet, because it's up to Mikey, but I know he still likes Sunky, so Sunky's still a possibility. I know that he still wants to finish Endless.
Yeah.
And we'll see from there.
Plus, like Mimi,
only-
like speaking of Mimi, like she's done like a lot of like EXE videos herself. So I think she's kind of covered a lot of like the points where you wouldn't do, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I don't really see that as a reason not to cover them. It's just that I'm not big on Sonic EXE.
Yeah.
I'm basically doing the EXE series like just to sort of help Mikey get a boost again, because his channel got a little bit screwed by the algorithm. A lot of his videos got like demonetized, even though they shouldn't have been, just because YouTube's dumb sometimes. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do this series. Let's give Mikey an audience for his new stuff, because he's been working really hard. And it shows. Like, I'll never be able to produce a video that looks as good as Too Slow myself.
Yeah, because I've seen Mikey's art for like, again, probably since 2015, to be honest. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and like a lot of his thumbnails in your video is really, really good. I love like it's really like iconic kind of like thumbnails that he's got.
Yeah, I think the only thumbnail I've done in the past year that wasn't Mikey was the Mass DDD video, because I think Mikey was sick when we were working on that. The primal Mass DDD.
Yeah.
So that one wasn't Mikey. All the others are him.
Yeah. Going back to FNF, we've kind of done that already. But question 19. So I said what I was gonna say again. I was gonna say one, but that's a bit too specific. So I'm gonna say, what's your top 3 favorite FNF mods?
Top 3 favorite FNF mods. That is difficult. I'm gonna say FNF Online is up there. I think it's still the mod that most authentically captures the original base game's feel. That's maybe Sekiro.
I'm probably quite up there with that as well. Yeah.
I still love Garcello. I think it's one of the best mods for good reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's very memorable. It doesn't do too much, but what it does well.
Yeah.
And for a third one, I feel like just for the music, Midfight Masses still has some of the best music out of any mod. It's the one that gave us Mike Gino, so I got to give it that.
Yeah, for Garcello, like I also really like your video on Garcello. That was actually a really, really good one. So
the Garcello video was one of the first ones where we worked directly with the mod creator as a larger part of it, because obviously I talked to Sock when I made the Witty video. I talked with Cade and Ying when I made the Hex video for the first time.
Yeah.
But Garcello was the first one where the mod creators actually actively wanted to be part of it. So for a long time, it was going to be Rage Miner was going to voice Garcello, just like the actual mod. But he wasn't able to do it in time, so I ended up voicing him. But I was still able to get Ann to voice Ann.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which really good video, by the way. Applause to you.
Thank you.
Online, I said before, it's probably my favorite FNF mod there is, because I love Challenge It and I love Unloaded. Those two are really, really good songs. And even other two are really, even like Accelerant, fucking the Attack Man song. I forgot the name of it. Attack Man song and the Alien Hominid song.
Yeah.
I still love those songs a lot, but Unloaded, Challenge It, fantastic. So
I think one of the funniest songs I have about the Garcello mod in particular, and the Garcello mod video, is I know a lot of VOs, I know a lot of voiceover artists.
Yes.
And at one point, a voice actor I know just messaged me and they said, "Tom, I'm dying of laughter. I just got commissioned to do like Garcello for like one of those bootleg FNF animations, and they sent me your video as a reference for what Garcello's voice should sound like."
Oh my god. There you go. You're used as reference.
I was used as a reference for a paid role. I think that's really funny.
Okay.
I'm not even the official VO.
So, I remember, I was going to my little story, but I remember, for my mod, I'm not even going to be around the bush. She voiced Blitzo. It's not even like a secret. But when I was like finding voices for Blitzo, I emailed Brandon Rogers. Obviously, got nothing back. I was expecting that, fair enough. And what I done for the VA for Luna is I just look through some comic dubs and see who I like most. I was gonna do it for Blitzo until one of the composers of the mod just said, "Hey, I think this person could be really good for Blitzo, and like, can I send him to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What you got?" And they sent you, and I'm like, "Oh, okay then. I know who this is." And it's like, and I'm like, "Sure. I don't think he'll respond to me, but sure." I sent you a DM. You said yes. And I'm like, fantastic, winner.
Funny enough, that's not even the only thing I've done as Blitzo, because I did the animation versus anything rap battles Blitzo.
Thing is, that's what I was sent in order. That's what I was sent in order. Like we should do RecD for Blitzo, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that then. So I DM'd you it, and the rest is history, which is fantastic.
Yep.
So question 20. So I'm not touching it too much, but I know you stream Fnfmods. You do like a I think the other day you did fake Pepino. I saw that one very briefly.
I do the fake Pepino video to playing the video games for Entertainment Nation.
I love that voice, honestly.
Fake Pepino is also one of my favorite voices. It's not like as iconic as Sans is to my growth, but it is one of the most fun voices because it's just so many characters blended into one. There's Dr. Nick, there's Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy. There's just all these goofy character voices just became a new one together.
Yeah, it's like it's also my SoundCloud as well. Yeah, the new one. So but do you have like a favorite stream moment, perhaps?
Oh, there's so many amazing stream moments. I think I'll go through a few personal favorites.
Okay.
One of them was on the recent birthday stream when we got tired of Yo Noid, so we just decided to cheat our way through it, and somehow it glitched into the Noid eating a Noid. That was pretty great.
All right, triple down.
He just ate a whole Noid! One of the most iconic ones among fans is probably when we were streaming with our voice of Tom, and it was 8-Bit Fable. I think 8-Bit Fables. Let me check the name of the game. It was an indie developer actually said, "Hey, I'll send you a key of my game. Can you like do a stream of it and talk about it?" And like, well, I'll go on the stream and talk with you about it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, sounds fun. So we did the stream. It's a fun game. I don't know if we'll do another one, maybe in the future sometime.
Yeah.
But we did this stream, and in the middle of it, our Tom voice actor goes, "I'm Mr. Tom Edsweld. I'm super drunk." And just this really hard bang, and we're like, "What the hell was that?" And then we find out later that he actually slammed his head on his desk, and he slammed it so hard that he got a concussion.
Oh my god! Was he actually drunk?
He was not actually drunk, but he did get a real concussion.
Oh my god!
I might just come in. I'm Mr. Tom Edsweld. I'm super drunk.
Yeah, another one. I don't know if this one's a little bit older. There's just this moment that was very heated where the crew was talking about their favorite Pokemon, and I think Bob said he liked Infernape or something, and Moop said, "You know, that Pokemon's ugly," and Bob just instinctively yells, "You're ugly!" And Moop starts crying. Everyone cannot stop laughing.
Is that your fucking persona? That's cringe. You're cringe!
That's literally what it was! And the worst thing is, Moop didn't get the Pokemon right! He's thinking of a completely different one!
Oh, it's amazing. I need to watch more of your streams, honestly.
Oh, they're chaos.
There's
so also funny. There's one more I'll tell. This is my favorite with a special guest.
Yeah.
So I was doing a release stream for, I think it was Witty Definitive Edition. So we did. I brought on Sock because, you know, I hang out with Sock every now and again. We talk sometimes.
Yeah.
So Sock obviously is not big on the FNF scene. She's like talking about bullshit. So I'm like, I asked her, like, I pretend to do like a joke interview. I asked this joke question. I'm like, okay, Miss Sock.clip, ma'am, what was your biggest influence on the character of Witty? And she just blurts out, just thinking of something quick. Total Drama Island, episode 13. I'm like, okay, let's look that up. And the name of the episode was Extreme Torture!
Oh my god! Oh my Jesus. Because it's ironic because I'm interviewing you now, and someone like probably maybe if I get big, I'll be interviewed. So it's gonna be a big cycle. Oh, that's amazing.
That and Dad of Dearest are the two running gags with me and Sock.
So yeah, so moving on. So question 21. So have you played any big roles in, like, let's say, like, indie games, TV shows, so on and so forth?
I haven't had too many opportunities to voice a character in a game or TV show yet before. I mostly do internet stuff, but I would certainly not be opposed.
Yeah?
I definitely have auditioned for stuff before. I actually auditioned for Pepino in Pizza Tower way back in like 2018, 2019.
Oh,
And
yeah.
PTG said that he really liked the voice for Peppino, which is the voice, which is close to the voice I'm using now.
Yeah.
But he eventually decided to just go without a voice mostly for the character and use a lot of stock sounds.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I get. It works. It works.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the pizza. I was a really I think I was much better off because the art style and that's kind of inspired from like Ed and Eddie. So and they use a lot of sock sounds as well, so it kind of
Yep.
fits more. So that was a good choice. And Mr. I think it's Mr. Pig. His name is.
Yeah.
Mr. Pig's End.
McPig.
McPig. I'm a dumbass. McPig's End. But yeah, and what's funny because like, and you're doing Pizza Tower videos now. So question 20. The thing is, see for the last interview, I said this like question 22, and I kept saying question 2022.
Oh no.
I have speaking problems, by the way. I hope that was clear to you.
2022 question interview. Who will fall asleep first?
That's gonna be me in the Jake Neutron interview.
Yeah.
So question 22. What weaknesses do you think are present in your VA? So I said before, like, you've got a really good range. I don't see much weakness in your VA, but just in case you have an idea.
So my weakness is not my ability to voice act, but my durability. I cannot hold growly characters for long periods of time. My voice will burn out. I do combat that. I drink a lot of throat coat tea. I got Grether's pastilles, which were recommended by the VA community. I'm glad they did. They work like a charm.
Right.
But it still tires my voice out a lot. You know, do the really growly characters, those types. Like, obviously I can pull them off fine. It's just a matter of I couldn't do this for 3 hours on a stream.
Thing is, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like because I was watching like the Gorillas Game Fest like I don't know, a few years ago, and there was like Anton from like
Yeah, God help me when I eventually do Anton Blast with lyrics.
Yeah, that's an idea and a half. But yeah,
I probably will as long as Materia don't get him.
I'm gonna butt myself into this now. But I'm also a VA. I've got a channel who I'll probably put it in the chat in a minute. But the thing with like, when my voice gets strained the most when I do a female voice, because I'm trans, right? So I can do male and female. I did voice training for a few months, and that was it when I came out. And ever since, I've just been doing like my own stuff for VA, so I can do my normal voice. I can and I can like raise it up like this for like my female voices for and for, like Scott Pilgrim. I did Stacy Pilgrim.
Awesome.
I do all that stuff like that, and then but that it would strain my throat a lot. And then when I did my first comic dubs, I would strain my throat, keep going. And I'm like, oh, I can do this in time. And like the director for that comic dub was like, hey, we're taking you off as Scott Pilgrim because like you can't just keep straining yourself doing this. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. So that was a lesson learned. So question 20. So this is moving on to Pizza Tower now. Yeah, I said that right. So question 23. So what other Pizza Tower songs would you cover? Now we kind of said this before with the content ID stuff. It's a bit limited.
Yes,
and
I can't cover the official tracks anymore from the official game. But I do have an interest in covering Pillar John's Revenge. I'll probably reach out to the composer at some point. Probably reach out to the composer at some point in the near future to get that okayed. I always, when it's a fan song, with FNF I don't do this as much anymore because I'm usually either working with the people already or they already know me. But when it's like someone I don't know at all, I reach out and say, hey, you know, I'm interested in covering the song. Is that cool? This is what I'll do. I'll be sure to credit you. Blah 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 blah. And if they're cool with that, I say cool, and we do it. So I'm thinking about doing Pillar John's Revenge. If the Pizza Tower fan base does produce any other like really notable songs that aren't just more laps, I feel like lap 3 is gonna be like the last straw. That's like the most I can stretch it out possibly.
I remember for your server, I was looking at your server because like I know you got a Q&A section, and I was looking and like, is there any questions that have been asked? Like, is RecD gonna do lap 3? Someone asked it, and I think someone else said yes, and I'm like, yes, and then like I put it in anyways as a question because I love the lap 3 song a lot. I've heard people say it doesn't really fit for Pizza Tower, and I can say like for maybe, but the song's really good. So I'm really happy that you're doing it. So yippee.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely planning to give it a go. No, I am doing Make Some Noise first. The reason I'm doing Make Some Noise first is because when I originally polled after I did The Death I Deserve Ioli, I asked people to say who was going to be first, which is going to be Fake Peppino
or the noise. And obviously the noise song can't happen anymore. So I feel like to make it up to them, I have to do the noise song first.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
And then after that, I have thoughts and ideas for the other bosses. I have thoughts for Pepperman. I have thoughts for Vigilante. I will absolutely try my best to make something half as insane as Unexpectancy when I do.
Oh yeah. What are your thoughts on like some of the other like fan songs on like Pete Stars? Like, because May was made like Pepperman, Vigilante, and what was it called? The Noise.
I think I've watched some of them. I think that everyone's got their own styles, and I think that they did pretty good. I'm glad that fans have a version to listen to before Materia collected.
And I saw a sidetrack, but I remember like because you were saying like people like all people can recognize you. I have asked a lot of people like because when I was talking about you and my mod, for example, people would be like, so who's the voice of Blitzo or something like that? Or like, who's this person? Like, oh, the voice of Blitzo, that's RecD. And they're like, who? And I'm like, you've never heard of RecD? And I'd explain to them like who they are, because I remember, because for my old editor, or the person who edited the Tails Gets Trolled video, which is now up actually. But when I was talking to Manuel, like who I can interview next, I was like, oh, I can do RecD because I've got a lot of questions on that. Lots of material, this, that, and he's like, who's that? And I'm like, are you fucking joking me, Manuel? So I had to explain that to him. And I sound like an absolute RecD fangirl right now. I mean, I've listened to your content for years now, but basically, I thought like more people would like know of you because of like all of your stuff on FNF. So it's.
I mean, the thing is, you got to remember, like, a lot of the fandom still sees me as a pariah. A lot of the fandom still hates me. So I'm not offended when people don't know who I am. I'm like, yeah, that's scans. That's cool. You do you.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just had question 24 over there, but question 25 is, so what are your, and we've also kind of covered this, but what are your thoughts on the success of the Pizza Tower videos? So you went over...
Absolutely stunned. Absolutely stunned.
You went over It's Pizza Time, but I'll just say, like, Death I Deserve Aioli and Pizza Time Never Ends.
So, Death I Deserve Aioli did a little bit worse than Pizza Time, which did not surprise me. Because I figured, oh, this is going to be, the sequel never does as good as the original. Yeah. And then I started working on Pizza Time Never Ends. I'm like, this is going to be long, this is going to take a while. This is maybe going to get half the views of the Zervioli, because the videos depreciate over time. Like, that's what happened with the Cuphead ones. When Pizza Time Never Ends with Lyrics came out, something happened to me that has never happened before, and I could not believe it. And what happened to me is, I got on YouTube trending. Not even gaming trending, not even music trending, just trending.
I think I saw that.
Pizza Time Never Ends with Lyrics peaked at number 10 on YouTube trending for the entire website. And it has already outgrown the Death I Deserve Aioli. I'm very... And it's funny. It's so funny, because during the time I was making it, I was really nervous. Like, oh, the intro's too long. People are going to click away. I don't think these jokes are that funny. Should I really keep them? Like, you know what? No. Keep it. Get that length. Tell the full story. Especially when I found out that I was not going to be able to do any more. So I got Pizza Time Never Ends officially approved by the composer. Yeah. So I probably could also get, the other ones approved by the composers if I went that way, but I would have to worry about Content ID, and it doesn't matter if I got the approval then. I still got to fight it. So I'm like, let me just finish this one because I started it before it got bought out, and I did, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, this is going to be the ending. I'm sure it'll go fine. And it was one of my biggest hits ever.
Yeah. I will say though, putting the intro in SoundCloud is such like I got to skip past this little bit to actually listen to the song. I've been doing that for years now with the lyric stuff.
Yeah, I get you. I know. Like I put the entire audio there in case people want to use it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. That way they don't have to download it from YouTube and possibly get reduced quality or a virus.
So the last question I've got on the list is, what other games / media would you cover in the future? So you've said Amanda the Adventure.
The Adventure I'm working on. Honestly, I'm really open to anything that strikes my fancy. Anyone who knows me knows I love treasure games, so that's why I love Cuphead, because it's immediately styled after Alien Soldier, especially, as well as Gunstar Heroes. There is bosses that are like giant references to them. I love the Wario games. Wario Land 4 is my first GBA game.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's part of why I love Pizza Tower. I enjoy anything that has sort of a quirky, lighthearted feel or is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Anything that I can attach a story to. Anything that, not just things that already have a big story, but things that are an open book like FNF, I especially enjoy because I can sort of put my own spin on it.
I'm just looking,
obviously
I'm just looking at my Steam library right now. Hold on, just to suggest anything for you to do.
More Nintendo stuff is probably coming in the future. Like I said, I do plan to do one more Kirby vs. Dedede video. It's going to be Dedede's Nightmare in Dreamland. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, because you've always done Kirby, so that makes sense.
I've always done Kirby, so I'm going to do that. Like, that was my only big ones. I have one more Furret video planned, and it's the biggest video I have planned outside of the FNF Musical Season 2 finale. Okay. It was the reason that it got put back. It was gonna be my 100K sub special. It was gonna be Furret Lovania. It's gonna be Furret meets Sans. And then Megalovania still being copyright claimed. So I'm like, okay, screw it. We'll make it original. So now it's gonna be original show.
Honestly, yeah, I was looking through my Steam there, and I was like, is there anything I could suggest to him? The only thing that came out was Bubsy, so I got nothing.
I mean, I already did Bubsy.
Yeah. Thing is, I was looking at your videos like as you were talking like 20 minutes ago, and I just saw Bubsy 3D, and I'm like, should I bring this up in the conversation? And I was like, no, I'm not bringing this up. And the thing is,
I have a relation with Bubsy 3D.
Honestly, I'm the same. I am literally okay. I'm gonna describe this to you. I am basically a Bubsy. I am on Bubsy copium. I really want the games to be good. I kind of like the character. I've watched the pilot. I've played most of the games. So the odds of it being good are slim, but I want it. I really want it.
Do yourself a favor and never play Fractured Fairy Tales in the Jaguar. You will lose all.
Yeah, that's the only one I've not played, and I've seen the development hell of that.
FFT is worse than Bubsy 3D. It is worse than Bubsy 3D, 100%.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right, you think you've got a good idea that like it's bad because like if the developers were sticking pins in Bubsy plushies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was you know, they were like, I don't think they like this game or like
Bubsy. They're not much a fan of that one, I don't think.
Just not a cup of tea.
I actually one of my neighbors had Bubsy, so I played it a lot when I was a kid. The first game, which is sadly probably the best one. Like the new games are better, but they're bland.
Yeah.
They just don't have a soul, and it's like what happened is both of the new games are just another game studio got hired by like whatever firm owns Bubsy now. I think Atari just bought Bubsy actually, like last month.
Okay.
But yeah, whatever firm owned Bubsy, I think it was a Chinese holding group. They had them make games. They got the guys that did the Gianna Sisters reboot, which is a really great, very long platformer, styled after Super Mario Brothers, and the Bubsy one had 12 levels, and they were all pretty bad. And the voice actor did not want to be credited. And then they got the guys that did Bit Trip to do a Bubsy game, and you know they probably starved them of time and budget, and it came out.
Yeah, because for the voice actors, I remember the pilot, it was, I forgot his name, but
Rob Paulson.
Yeah, it does Yakko, because Rob Paulson, I fucking love Yakko and Rob Paulson. And it's like, and he actually did a decent voice with Bubsy. I can get behind it. And then with the new one, with the Pause, I forgot the fucking name of that.
Pause on Fire.
No, the one before that. It was the big Bubsy Bat game.
The Woolly Strike Back.
Woolly Strike Back. I remember, like, I can't remember who done a voice for that, but like, I can get behind that voice. I'm very optimistic with Bubsy and in general. But
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you.
I will get there eventually. I'll get out. I will make my own Bubsy game.
There you go. There's your goal. Make the first good Bubsy game.
So
I think the worst experience I've ever had with Bubsy, I tried playing Bubsy with a driving controller once, and within 5 minutes, I became car sick.
Why?
I was not moving. I still found a way to become car sick.
Wait, why? Why would you? Wait, what the?
When you have a lot of peripherals and you have Bubsy 3D, sometimes you make some bad decisions.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions that I've got. I'm gonna pin Zach again. Just ping Zach, just in case he has any more questions. Is there any extra questions you want me to ask you?
I mean, no, I'm pretty. I think we got a good amount covered.
Yeah.
All I can say is, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm very happy to be creating stuff that makes people happy, that makes people sad, that like makes people feel. That's really the core of it. I want to make stuff that improves people's lives, makes them just have something to cling to, something to laugh at, something to show friends. And as long as I'm doing that, and helping, my artists along the way and helping the singers and everything, I'm very happy. I will say definitely look forward to the Amanda song if you like the more emotional side of my videos, and look forward to the Noise song if you like the more comedic side. They're going in two very different directions. And for those that are waiting on Tabby, please stop sending death threats at me for delaying
Wait,
Tabby.
what?
It's not my choice. It's not my choice.
People send you fucking death. Oh my Christ! I mean, that's
they've been threatening to throw pipe bombs at me and put them in my mailbox since like early FNF lyrics.
And you just shrug that off. I'm so sorry.
I get so many death threats and so much violent hate.
Jesus Christ!
It's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard from FNF fans to do. But the thing is, on the bigger scale, I think you've got a really big potential for to do like bigger like indie games / TV shows, that kind of stuff. Because it's not.
I would love the opportunity to work on indie games TV shows.
It can be a bit uncommon, but like it's definitely there, and I think you're a big fit for that, honestly.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to write for TV, write for indie games, voice in indie games. I haven't really built up too much of a VO portfolio, mostly because I just focus on the channel. And I definitely will be trying out for indie stuff in the future. I'd like to build a portfolio and sort of do it as a side hustle if I can. But my main focus is still going to be the YouTube channel because that's what pays for my existence. That also helps me pay my artists.
Yeah.
It's been for a long time, things didn't work out. For those that don't know, I am a disabled person. I have chronic pain and several other disabilities that make it really hard for me to work regular jobs. I actually got laid off from a retail job I was about to become homeless the very day the Fur Walk with Lyrics blew up. YouTube literally probably saved my life, so I will always be indebted to it for that.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about what's happening with you, but I think you're doing a really good job. Just keep going. You're an amazing VA in my opinion. I've seen you for years and years on end, so I sound like I'm a really big fangirl, and I hate it. But that's it's what I've been saying.
It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, with because have you ever that's a bonus question I've just thought in my head there. Have you ever had any ideas of your own kind of TV show or any web series?
Okay, so on this note, I don't know when it's going to be ready. It's been in the works for a little while. Look forward, hopefully sometime this year, to the first completely original RecD concept album.
Holy shit!
I don't know when it's gonna be done.
I
don't know when it's gonna be done. I don't know when it's gonna be done.
Right.
I will try.
Okay, Zach, have you got? I don't. You don't know RecD because I sent you the channel and you were like, oh, he's a really big YouTuber. Do you have anything to ask RecD before we go?
I have a question, but you're gonna get super angry at it, but I don't care.
No.
Are you aware
don't,
of 5
please.
Nights at Freddy's lore?
William Afton was the original owner of Fred Bear's Family Diner. Fred Bear's Family Diner was opened in 1967 when blah blah blah.
I'm gonna kill you, Zach.
I read the whole thing for Bob with Lyrics, so I remember some of it.
Alright, sorry Wonders, I had to.
Yeah, you're the FNAF guy. You make all your friends.
Funnily enough, I almost made the first FNAF fan song too, but it got delayed and released around FNAF 2.
It's because Zach Quinn makes a lot of FNAF videos on YouTube. He's also got a YouTube channel.
I get it. FNAF is a YouTube thing. I was considering doing Security Breach one, and then I played the game, and I had the least amount of fun I've ever had.
So yeah, I mean, see, I haven't looked at it too much because I tried to avoid spoilers, which is a really stupid thing for FNAF Security Breach. But I remember Jacksepticeye playing it and just seeing his face essentially.
His smile and optimism gone.
Nothing will be more disappointing than playing that game and just being greeted with bugs and glitches.
You know what the worst part is? I streamed the PS4 version.
Oh god.
Okay, so I think that is everything. We're actually running out of time here because that's what you said earlier. So I'm just trying to be very quick. But that will be everything for this interview. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a really nice time.
Always happy to be on.
I have a little secret. I'm thinking about interviewing Juno Songs next as well because it's on the list.
yeah.
which is really
Reach out to him.
really funny.
He'd probably be down. He'd probably be down.
Yeah, but I probably should do more teams, but I did want to interview you and BB Panzo beforehand, because these are you're two people that I really like look up to in terms of like content and that. You a bit more like over the long term, because I've seen your content for a long way, and I've listened to a lot of your songs on SoundCloud, FNF stuff, so on and so forth. So it was really nice asking you all these questions. Plus, it was actually really funny sometimes, and I really hope my mic didn't peak over my laughter. But we'll see. We'll see. Zach,
It'll be all good.
Zach will be editing this video.
No. All right, y'all have a good one, okay?
Yeah. Right. Thank you a lot, man. We'll see you later. See you later, everyone, in the video. Thank you all
Good
for
night,
watching.
everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.